So how does it feel to walk through the place now?
It's echoey. I don't know, it's kind of surreal. I haven't grasped it yet, but it's pretty crazy that we were in this place so long and it looked so nice, or at least we thought it did.
You remember we moved in here and we walked through that door in there because this room wasn't here yet, and we're like, oh my God, look at how huge this place is. We're never going to fill this place up.
We're never going to fill this place up. That's exactly what we said 14 years ago.
I'm not saying it this time, because I totally plan on filling that place up.
Exactly.
How did you guys meet? How'd you end up getting together?
It was this website back in the day.
Yeah, it was like tallguys.com. He was looking for a partner.
That's not true. That's not true.
Now that you guys are leaving, give me some memories of this place.
Wow.
It's been quite a few.
Yeah, where do we start?
What are you going to miss most about this building?
Not a goddamn thing.
I can't think of anything.
Nope, I'm good.
What I miss about the building is that it's hot. That's what that makes, man. Look at me, I'm sweating my butt off. It's not even June yet, or July.
So are you going to miss the building?
Like I'd miss a nagging rectal itch.
I missed the memory board that was by the install area. All the extra vinyl that we had from each job, we kind of sticker it and layer it. And it was basically, you could see a timeline of everything that we had done. There's Massey's hidden in there. Every job that we had accomplished, we had extras. So we just patchworked and it became its own piece of art.
One of my favorite things about the shop is how Steve likes my singing.
Nobody's real fond of Renee singing.
So I put my headphones on, I start singing my salsa, you know? I like salsa. Dun, 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 dun.
Renee, when he started wearing headphones, you know, like kids when they first wear headphones, they don't realize they're talking real loud with their headphones in. Well, Renee was singing real loud all throughout the shop.
Sometimes when Renee sings, I sometimes want to run and help him because somebody's beating Renee. It's so out of key and he's screaming and he's shrieking his voice. Something's happening to Renee.
What are you not going to miss about the building?
The landlord, the size, the filth, the layout.
Having our own parking lot, not having to deal with other tenants.
Parking at this office has been an adventure. Our new landlord decided to make a parking map, which has a total of 36 spots on it, I think. And some of them are a mile away. When our tow truck guy comes to pick up cars and drop off cars, he doesn't go a mile away, he drops them off across the street. So one day, about a month ago, after we had already told our landlord that we were moving, he comes in. I said, oh yeah, I just realized that the guy who dropped off some of our cars parked across the street, but you know that the next door neighbors, the people down from us that aren't supposed to have cars over there either, they parked some of their personal cars over there. When I brought this up to him very nicely, he says, those are your cars. And I said, no, they're not. And he said, yes, they are. They're all yours. So he gets an attitude with me, and then Dale walks out and starts, hey, what's up, da 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 da. The landlord seriously said to Dale, stop talking.
And I walked out of my office and said, hey man, and he said, stop talking. Like literally, that dude was like, stop talking. What?
And then, which, you know, Dale, I think Dale didn't really mean to stop talking. He was just like taken back from a grown man telling him to stop talking.
Yeah. And he said, get outside. Like man, I walked outside and I'm like, what? And he starts cussing me out, and he was just effing me this and effing that. Matter of fact, Rick's looking at the cameras. He had to come out and intercede, make sure something violent didn't happen. But that dude was verbally castrating me.
Something violent happened, I wanted to be there.
In front of employees, and it was ridiculous just because a couple of my customers had taken those spots.
Right, and our neighbor had 80% of those spots filled up with their cars over there, but he assumed all of them belonged to us.
Yep.
And we had to kind of listen because we really needed the building still at that time.
Yeah, that was a month ago.
Before we closed on the new one.
Right.
If it would have been the situation where we didn't need the building as bad as we did, then they would have not listened to it very well then.
Yeah.
But I knew what you were thinking.
Yep, I want to knock that dude out. Stop talking.
All right, no, don't want to talk about that one. No, can't talk about it. Probably don't want to mention that one.
Breakdancing.
Yeah, the breakdancing, that was pretty funny.
We had a pair of brothers here, and they were b-boys. They went and did breakdance competitions, and they heard that Dale used to do that back in the day.
Hey man, some kid, little punk rap installer called me out one day. Said he could challenge me to a dance-off, so I said, let's do it. And then once I said, let's do it, you know, it was like the masses came. They had it all set up. They had it, you know, a DJ spinning, had some lights going. I don't know.
Oh, the one thing we forgot to have ready was the ambulance, though, because when you broke your hip trying to break dance, it was a mess.
It was not my hip, man. It was my shoulder.
Forget
it was just a little, it's a little shoulder. You know, that cardboard was slippery. You know what I mean? It was a little slipperier than I remember.
And they took turns going back and forth on a piece of cardboard over here by the bay door.
Wait, Dale can breakdance. He really can. He's good. But he must not have stretched beforehand because he hurt himself bad. He jumped down on his arm and yeah, he was injured. The next couple days he had his arm in a sling.
Dale went up on 2 hands and went to spin around and fell, and I'm not sure if it was an actual face plant or if he just kind of went down on his neck and his arm in a weird position. It was a long time ago, but he fell pretty hard.
Old men shouldn't break dance.
Oh.
And that was the last time anybody did breakdance in here.
On the top of this wall is a Circus McGurk's Cafe, temporary sign that we put up out at Universal while we were refurbing the other one. We happened to hang it up here to cover a giant hole.
We were in the tent, and all of a sudden, probably 6:30, 7 o'clock, we hear boom! We're like, oh my God! So we run out of the tent because there's no windows or anything, so you can't see anything. We run out of the tent, come around the corner. There's white dust falling everywhere. Damon's sitting in the forklift, looking like a ghost, covered in white, and all that was just not there anymore.
And he caught the drywall and ripped it all to shreds. It was hanging by studs, and Damon's sitting in the forklift like this, covered in drywall dust. He was white, looking like Casper. It was so funny.
It'd shake the whole building.
Yeah, it shook the building.
We all took 3 steps back waiting for the wall to collapse, and when we realized it didn't, we started thinking of ways to, you know, patch it up. Oh gosh, all right. The very first crazy thing that happened was when they smashed somebody's phone.
So Donald had a phone, right? And Chris had a phone that was exactly the same, but Chris' phone didn't work. So he's asked Donald if he can use his phone. So Donald said, sure. So he takes the phone and he switches the phone, and he takes the one that doesn't work. So Donald thinks this is his phone. So he's just like, oh man, you owe me 20 bucks, man. You know, wait till I see you, I'm gonna kick your butt. And he smashes the phone. So he breaks the phone that doesn't work. And Donald thinks it's his phone, and he's like, oh my God, you broke my phone. I'm gonna kill you. And we all busted out laughing because we were all in on him, and it was great. It was like one of the funniest things we've ever done here.
That's like when phones were like flip phones.
It was like a BlackBerry. It was a BlackBerry.
It's a BlackBerry.
In our shop, we had limited room, so we bought this set of 4 lifts, and it can lift the car up by its tires, and then there's rolly wheels to scoot it around. So we had some fun with that, hiding people's cars on them.
One time, Tito, he kicked the vinyl ball and caught me right in the right spot. So I decided we were gonna lift up his truck with the nuts. So I decided we were gonna lift up his car and move it to the other side of the pond. And when he left around 5 o'clock, he was looking for his truck, all confused, thinking that they stole his truck. That was a funny moment.
Went to my spot where I parked, and I didn't see my truck. Kind of for a second, my heartbeat went up.
He didn't freak out. He thought he was losing his mind. He was just wandering around the parking lot for 20 minutes before Lumpy went out there to tell him, hey, what's going on?
And I was amazed how quick they did it. They moved my big truck and the jacks, and then just with the tire jacks, they moved it around, and it disappeared for a second, but I found it.
We've done that a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, those things happen kind of spur of the moment. We weren't really, you know, all of a sudden the rap guys go running through here giggling like little girls.
They're like a Daytona pit crew of carjackers.
I remember when the Brit caught the dumpster on fire out back.
That was Peter, the British pizza. He didn't try to. He went and got a pizza at the bar, and they give you the little box for and he was smoking a cigarette. He through the butt in the pizza box, through the pizza box in the dumpster, and it was just kindling. It's just 2 minutes later, there was a column of smoke coming out.
And the large fire was due to the 2 black lids being closed that just caught on fire, and black plastic burned and smoked all the way until the fire department came to put it out.
Oh, you guys called the fire department?
Yeah, it was really small. It was all black smoke that was coming from the 2 actual plastic lids that had just now melted down inside. Oh, they were burning big time. It was practically an oil fire.
And then when we called the fire department, he was angry at us because he thought he was going to get in trouble.
Frequently, when I don't hear somebody call in or text, I'll go check the jail's websites.
And look, there they are.
Oh, that's why he's not here.
Oh, that happens.
Possibly.
I think several
I swear it was his grandfather died is what he said, but
His grandfather died.
then when our customer, the bail bonds, called in and said, whatever happened with that guy, I had to bail out Friday, we realized that it probably wasn't at a funeral.
Fortunately, we got a good hookup with a friend of ours, Mike at Magic Bail Bonds.
Yeah, Magic Bail Bonds.
He always helps
And
us out.
All-Star Bail Bonds. He owns both of them. Yeah, we're good friends with him. We do work in trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to use that story.
When I first started working here, I used to park on the side.
Right.
And one day I get out of my car, and down the side of Ryan's hatchback is this whole email address.
I remember.
It was not words that I can say on camera.
Right, it was like
All together on his passenger side.
with a .com at the end.
So Ryan had no idea for like the longest
He drove
time.
for 4 or 5 days with that on his passenger side, never saw it.
No idea.
And nobody said anything either. It was great. I remember the one guy with the Lamborghinis almost got in a fist fight with Dale. He brought us 2 Lamborghinis, and we did what he wanted, and then we had it all done, and at the end he was like, no, let's do something different. And Dale was kind of like, oh, well, okay, but you got to pay for this one. And he didn't like that. He was like, oh, I'm not even keeping, we're redoing it, so why do I have to pay for it? And, it was a lot of materials, reflective and everything. Anyway, the guy, cocked his fist back like he was going to swing on Dale. And, Dale was telling us the story like, I thought he was going to hit me. So, yeah, that was a bad one.
When Dale was getting ready to get married and he decided to do a flash mob on Christie.
My girlfriend's sister said, oh, you should do that. I said, yes, I should. And I got up with some choreographers from Universal Studios and put a little skit together, practiced it a little bit.
Well, it was weeks.
It was weeks. And then
He worked with a choreographer.
every day at like 4:30, a bunch of dancers would show up to practice with Dale.
We'd be sitting in here watching on the camera while he's over here practicing his moves in the rap side out there, after hours in the shop. Like, what the hell, is he having a seizure over there or what?
He was going to have his flash mob up at Adobe Gulas in Orlando, and just about everybody that knew about it took private cars or we rode together, and they all stayed near the front of the restaurant or directly outside at the very first table. And everybody that was part of Media One and Rap This, we all came in the back doors and stayed way in the back of the bar until we saw Dale out front kind of wandering, and he had a clue looking back toward the restaurant of when things were going down. So at that point, everybody moved outside when that began, and Christie had no idea until it was absolutely, the dance was over, and turned around and saw 50 or 60 people that she had no idea were even there. I think it was a pretty impressive way to ask your lady for her hand in marriage. It was very, very nice.
So I volunteered to do this because, well, I've been coming to this shop for years now, and I've taken care of the sign. It's a little nostalgic for me. It's the end of an era, starting of a new chapter in our brand new facility that is awesome. Going up. Looks like our job's done here.
Oh, Steve, this is for you. Ah, la, 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 la. Woo!